Okay, joined in Manchester by Mr. Tony O'Shea and Darryl Fitton ahead of the 2023 JenningsBet World Senior Darts Championship. Gents, first of all, how are we both doing?
I'm pretty good, thanks. Yeah, pretty good.
Good in a natural environment, drinking coffee. Sounds good.
I mean, I've joined you in a pub here. I was quite surprised to see you both drinking coffee. I thought we might have to manage the scene a little bit, but saving that for on the hockey at some point.
A bit earlier, so we've had our beer to warm up, so practice.
I might get in trouble for letting you say that, but let's look ahead to next week then. Tony, we'll start with yourself. Drawn Leonard Gates, how are you feeling about that tie?
Obviously, there's no such thing as an easy draw, but that's one of the tougher ones. Fresh off the PDC World Championships, played well, came across well, good walk on. He's the whole package, so yeah, couldn't have got a much tougher one, to be honest.
Yeah, and Darryl, you find yourself up against Les Wallace. I mean, iconic walk on last year with the bagpipes and everything, but how are you feeling about that challenge on the hockey?
I'm feeling quite confident. I know I've been practicing quite well. I know Les has been practicing. It's one of those situations, and if it happens, it happens. If you play well, you play well. So it's harder when you get a bit older to get into it straight away. I'm a slow starter, but I am still playing well, so I'm actually looking forward to it. So.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to have to talk about last year as well, which obviously didn't go very well for either of you. Tony, you started off against Kevin Painter, beaten by him, who played some fantastic darts all the way through the tournament. But what was it like being back on that Circus Tavern stage?
I mean, obviously, I never played there in a major championship. Played there in exhibitions, loved the venue, but there was something special about it. First proper tournament there, crowd was brilliant. Obviously a great opponent, and he got to the final. I think he played really well, and it was a good game. It went to a tie-break. I'd be happy with a similar sort of performance this time.
Yeah, and Darryl, Tony mentioned the atmosphere there. You probably felt that more than anybody else, taking on Richie Howson to start with, who brought an army of Essex fans with him.
All to the right of me as well, so it was a bit nervy, to be quite honest with you. A long time since I've been played on television. I was a bit nervous, so a few other issues that I can't really talk about early on, but everything was a bit scary, like a rabbit in a headlight at the time. So.
I mean, with all that experience, was that a little bit of a surprise to you? Because you two have played darts for longer than I've got pairs of pants, probably.
It's a difficult one to answer, really. I'll let you answer that one, Tony.
It had been a while, to be honest, with COVID and stuff. And no matter how much experience you've got, you still get nerves, and I felt it, and I'm sure most of the lads felt it. And it was not like starting again, but because it had been three years for us without playing on TV.
I'd had a year off with my hip replacement and everything, and then COVID, and it was like Tony said, like starting again, but with practice, but you can't practice nerves, can you? You know what I mean? So.
Phil Taylor puts it a little differently, but
yeah. Well, I was, but there's children around. So.
With the seniors tour as a whole, like you said, off the back end of COVID, did it come at the right time for you guys? Obviously, it's been spoken about for an awful long time as a concept to get all the legends involved, but after last year, the growth we're seeing already, it's not quite as intense as being on the BDO, the WDF, or anything like that. Is it the right sort of balance for you two right now, where you are in your careers?
Well, like internet darts has just gone through the roof, as we've seen the last 12 months with the Modus Series, Super Series. I mean, that is now as professional as anything you'll see. So with the BDO collapsing, and it looks like that's the future now, and looks like it's here to stay. So there's other avenues for us as older players. Obviously, we're not the tour players we used to be. We don't travel like we used to, but so to have that internet stuff, especially in the early days, it gave us another avenue to play some serious darts.
Yeah, and I guess away from the hockey, Darryl, you've taken on a mentorship role as well for a lot of young players. Is that a way of keeping in touch in the game, passing on the knowledge that you've got, and actually still staying involved in the sport?
Yeah, it does. I've been 3 or 4 years. I've been doing the same job. I did it at Target, and I left there recently, and I work for Mission Darts, and it's sort of keeping me on my toes. Keeping me practicing. I'm watching more darts. I'm watching more people play, younger players playing, and I'm still learning little bits. There's some finishes that I've been learning myself. I thought, I didn't think of it that way. I've got to try and help them the best way I can and everything. So, yeah.
Yeah, you two have travelled the world together, had various experiences, world finals, title wins, 9 darts, etc. How good would it be for one of you to break that World Championship duck against the other in the final at the Circus Tavern?
Well, I've not even looked to a play if I beat Leonard, so I've not looked that far ahead. So, but I mean, obviously that'd be a dream final. I mean, our semi in 09.
Yeah,
I mean, people think we set that up, that sumo thing.
Yeah.
It just came off top of it. We'd done it in some exhibitions, and he looked at me, and it was we had a moment there, didn't we? Really?
We did.
But
when our bellies clashed.
yeah, 7.3 on the Richter scale. But no. It'd be brilliant.
Fish flew out of the lake.
That would be just awesome.
Do you find it difficult playing against each other because you've been around each other for so long, especially in the big events?
Yeah, definitely. It's difficult to raise your game against your mate. So we played that many times now. So I think we're just got used to it now. So
I think
but earlier days it was difficult.
I think the TV games are easier.
Yeah.
Because you're up there doing a job. We have played against each other for different teams on a Tuesday night in Stockport years ago, and half the town used to turn up to watch some of them games, and they were more pressure than I think than a TV game.
Yeah, good to know. So looking ahead to the rest of the season, obviously we're looking ahead to the World Championship, but there is the rest of the season to come as well. We've seen you both down at Reading for various roles. Tony, you popped down as an ambassador for Jennings. Darryl, you've played on the Friday night. Are we going to see you travel a little bit more and pick up some more of the Open Series events and just get involved with more senior darts in general?
Yeah, I've got my diaries full of all the seniors. I'm going to play in every single one this year. I enjoyed it, and there's some good quality players. It's a good standard. It's a better standard than travelling the BDO circuit, to be quite honest with you. I'm really enjoying it.
Yeah, I mean, is that summed up a little bit in a conversation we had off camera before we started, in that you looked at Tony and went, I'm glad I wasn't seeded because some of the players that have come through that side of the draw are top quality.
Colin McGarry is a brilliant player. You know, Richie Howson playing fantastic. Won 2 events last week. It's some really good players. Andy Jenkins is playing good, very good. Terry Jenkins is there. It's really tough draw. I'm glad I was not seeded this time. So.
Yeah, and then one last thing, any messages for people that might still be on the fence about popping down? I mean, you two have got 2 of the most iconic walk-ons of sports scene. Anything to wow the crowd with before we go?
I mean, obviously, if you love your darts, then and you've been around a while, these are the sort of events that I'd go and watch if I weren't playing. And to see some of them names up on the boards that are going to be playing, I mean, if you love darts, you've got to be there. Simple.
Yeah, definitely, especially with the likes of Cole Stompy being there as well. We love Cole, we're a good mate of ours. We're good to catch up with him. Leonard Gates, like you said, Tony said earlier, he comes across as a really nice guy and everything. Be nice to get to know him a little bit as well. So I'm looking forward to it. Really am.
Perfect. We'll see you both at the Tavern, gents. All the best.